And outdated racial pandering is one reason Democrats lose elections. When Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi put on kente cloth, I don't think it earned them one vote for their powerful emotional ties to Ghana. Here in California, we're now segregating kidnapping. Really. California doesn't just have Amber Alerts for missing children. We have Ebony Alerts for black children and Feather Alerts for Native American kids. What is that? We look for them by listening on the ground? Look, even if you like identity politics, this kind of thing is antiquated. From 2010 to 2020, the number of people identifying as multiracial in America went up 276%. 1 in 5 newlyweds now are in an interracial marriage, and that number goes up to 100% in ads for Subaru. You couldn't do a remake of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner today because almost 100% of Americans approve of interracial marriage, especially with rich in-laws. And 95% of white women would leave their husband to marry Idris Elba. Idris Elba, who says, as humans, we are obsessed with race, and that obsession can really hinder people's aspirations. Actress Raven-Symoné agrees. She told Oprah, I'm tired of being labeled. I'm not an African American. I'm an American.
Well, who would have thought I would agree with Bill Maher? Welcome, everyone. It's Talks with Kenny here today. I want to give you my analysis about racial politics and why I think it's slowly dying. As you saw from the intro, Idris Elba was one of my favorite actors, by the way. Love the guy. Like, I believe he's from the UK too, so I don't know. I feel like I relate a lot to British black men for some reason. I don't know what it is. Madness. I don't know what it is, bruv. But this idea of separating people based on their race is the Democrats are pushing segregation like they did back in 1920s with Woodrow Wilson. I'm never going to let the Democrats play this down because something's going on in our politics, and I'm part of that statistic, right? 20% of Americans are in an interracial marriage. That's my marriage. That perfectly encapsulate what my marriage is about. And this is why I don't focus on race, because to me, race is superficial. Racial politics, the race hustle is going to die out eventually at the rate that we're going. You're going to have more Amalas out there mixed with white. And when you tell a kid, oh, white people are the devil, white people are inherently racist, you're going to hit at this mixed population, the multiracial population. And they're going to be like, so you're trying to tell me my father is a devil? My father hates me because of half of my lineage comes from the black community? It's going to be a harder pill to sell. And the Democrats, honestly, with the racial politics stuff, interracial marriage is essentially will be the thing that destroys racial supremacists. Because we know this is not going to be a majority black country. A majority white country in 2045, by 2045. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Asians, blacks, and whites are going to be, Asian, blacks, and Hispanics are going to be the minority. They're race mixing too. And this is the idea. This is why I focus on nationalism. This is why I say, hey, we're all Americans here. This is why I agree with the segment that Bill Maher just finished laying out. Because racial politics is so outdated. It's antiquated. It's so lazy, right? And they try to get you to turn against each other. Oh, look what he said about this person, right? What made me bring up this this conversation is this article made against Jonathan Isaac. Magic star Jonathan Isaac won't boycott event after Charlie Kirk's racist remark about BLM. Now, here's a, race hustler out here trying to condemn Jonathan Isaac because he wants to go speak at a Turning Point USA remark. That's like you saying, I'm on Elon's platform. That means I'm condoning everything that Elon says. To me, you want more free speech, less of it. And I don't care what you feel about Charlie Kirk's comments about being MLK, the DEI services. He called this guy go into. Let's read the article because I don't want to butcher anything. Is Jonathan Isaac taking it too far? One of Jonathan's right-wing actions was retweeting NBA players with homophobic nicknames. Karl Anthony Towns as Karl Anthony Trans and LeBron James as LeBron Gamins. What is these people focus on like unsubstantive stuff? Charlie Kirk has attacked LMK on multiple occasions, calling him a nasty guy, criticizing his federal holiday and monument. I mean, let's reverse this, because black people, y'all some of the most inconsistent people I've ever seen in my life. You guys criticize having Robert E. Lee, what else? George Washington, Thomas Jefferson statues. You're allowed to criticize that. You're allowed to say, why should we celebrate President's Day? But the minute you get the same power, the same energy y'all push out, now y'all want to cry it's racism. So you have to admit in of yourself that your actions are also racist, because you don't want any supposed white history represented out in the open. You don't want people to remember what happened in the past. You want to tear that down. But a guy giving his opinion about LMK, you're going to automatically identify it as racist. And this is one of the reasons I think racial politics is also dying, is that for too long, some of the most laziest intellectual people use racism as a means to combat criticism. Just because you don't like being criticized doesn't mean the person giving you the critique is actually coming from a racist point of view. He probably just don't agree with making LMK a holiday. It's his right. I don't even believe Juneteenth should be a holiday. Honestly, maybe in Texas it should, because it only applies to Texas, but you want to make it a national holiday, whatever. But I don't think there's the need to make Juneteenth a holiday. Or am I racist because I said that? I think that. Like make it make sense. Characterizing the legislation that outlawed segregation and was inspired by LMK a mistake. He never said that. I don't think he said that. I'm show me the clip. Show me, like, if you guys think in the comment section this is true, show me in the clip where he said that outlawing segregation was inspired by LMK as a mistake. He also made racist remark regarding black pilots. This is how people smear you, right? Like, I'm being honest here. No quotes. Like, where's the quote? All it is just framing. This is what they talk about when they say read between the lines. This is what they do. Assume what he meant by what he said. They assumed that his remarks was racist. They didn't prove it was. And the mistake with segregation, you find a lot of black people also agree with segregation, because look, the Democrats are bringing it back. So if you want to make the critique on Charlie Kirk that, outlawing segregation was a mistake, but here is the Democrat Party in California bringing back race-based quotas, race-based services, or affirmative action, which is racism under new management. You want to condemn Jonathan Isaac for speaking at his events. Jonathan Isaac will speak at an event and support Johnny Kirk's event even after Kirk's racist remarks about LMK, black women, and black service workers and black pilots. I did the video on the black pilots, and the problem was that Charlie Kirk's whole critique was about DEI, which is, like I stated, diversity, inclusion, equity, and inclusion is racism under new management. You're giving preferential treatment to black people regardless of the standards that they meet. If you look at academics, Asians and whites are more discriminated against than the black person. The black person gets special treatment. A black person can make it can have the same outcome as an Asian person, scoring 200 SAT scores lower than the Asian person, than the white person. You make the bar higher for white folks and Asian folks, and you lower the bar for black folks. That's what diversity, that's what affirmative action is. That's what diversity and inclusion is. And based on that, in the background, Charlie Kirk made a comment saying that he would question the qualifications of a black pilot. That is not racist. Because you started off with racism. That, like, in a way, these black people admit that affirmative action is racist. Because in the quote, he's saying that, I don't know if I can trust a black pilot. I don't know. I'll question his qualification, and it's sad that I have to do that. That's the full quote. If you find the video, you watch the whole thing, that's exactly what he said. But then y'all want to hone in and focus on a certain point. Y'all have selective hearing. Y'all have selective understanding. And that's what I've been finding out a lot about people who peddle race politics, is that they care about a lot about how things are said, how things are delivered. And it's getting ridiculous now. This is why I say racial politics is dying, because these people don't even know how to properly highlight this stuff. People who push racial politics, They believe their perception is reality. They perceive the comment to be racist, therefore it is. This is how a lot of people who push race politics, this is how they think. You say the truth about the black community, you criticize LMK, Martin Luther King, because he was a Marxist. He was possibly a Marxist. He cheated on his wife, right? You got all this stuff in the background, acting like someone is above criticism. We criticize the founding fathers, but for some reason, if you criticize a black man, you're racist. Make it make sense. You criticize George Floyd, you're a racist. Make it make sense. This is why racism is losing its power. This is why racism is lost its weight in our society. Because many people see, oh, when you call someone a racist, oh, you don't know how to handle his criticism. Oh, you don't have an argument. Oh, you're just trying to smear him. This is how racism loses its credibility. Same thing is going on with anti-Semitism right now too. People are starting to realize that if you criticize someone and they happen to be Jewish, they want to leverage it the same way black people leverage the race card. Y'all can't keep playing this game. That's why I'm saying racial politics is on its way out. I have another thing for you guys. Reality versus perception is very different. Alternative way to look about distributions across groups. Now, black people ain't gonna like this one, but here, this is from New York murder percentages of shares. Look at so if we're gonna say, hey, interracial crime is a problem in New York, white people murdering, let's say who they murder. So white people murder more Asians than blacks. But what they scare black folks with? Oh, white supremacy. Oh my God. So when I come out here and say, wait, white supremacy is not the biggest issue in black America, black people had the audacity to get mad at me in the comment section with no evidence, with no proof. They're gonna say, oh, you're saying white people aren't a threat to black people. That's racist. You're making white man talking points. No, I'm saying the truth. Because the data shows the results, not a narrative. I provide the narrative. The data only shows the results. And based on this graph here in New York, at least, the most liberal city out there, black people murder each other at 78% of the time. That means when black lives are lost, it's mostly 78% of the time is due to a black man. Am I sexist for pointing out that it was a black men are responsible for most of the crime in the black community? Am I sexist for that, or am I just saying the truth? This is the problem with racial identity politics. This is the problem with identity politics, is that you silo people into these little categories and boxes, and then you have different standards based on the category. Make it make sense. You say the truth or you give a criticism to a people, and if you happen to be of a different group, they'll like just slander you as racist so they don't have to deal with your argument. That's the reality of this racial pandering. That's the reality of these racial politics, racial talking points. Oh, you're not a pro-black. Who give a damn about being pro-black? Because y'all not even pro-black. These same fake pro-blacks that be coming in the comment section, these same fake pro-blacks that be talking on the internet, they don't want to talk about this. It be their own people killing them. But who they focus on? The little 3%. The little 3%. Look, that's what they worried about. Possibility over probability. What's the probability here? 78% of the time, your ass dying by another black man. But do you call that black criminal a sellout? A coon? A Uncle Tom? Nope. He took another black man's life. And now his ass is going to go to jail. Y'all don't care. Y'all want to focus on this. 3%. Oh, look at 3% of the murder. White people killed each other way more. Almost what? I don't know how many times more than black people. Yet, they're the problem. Right? Anything to avoid accountability, right? And if you want to go with the hate crime narrative, black people, y'all the most racist group in America. If I'm going based on the data. Who kills more Asians other than other Asians? Black people. Look at that. 39% Asian victims. 44% white victims. 30% Hispanic victims. Damn, y'all don't like the white folks, huh? Y'all don't like the white and Asians. Y'all main nemesis in this country. And in a multiracial republic, we can't allow people to do this without scrutiny. The black community needs more criticism. The black community needs more tough love, because black community like to exaggerate how much of a victim they are. Everything's everyone else's fault. But if I bet you, if you look at the behaviors that many people in the black community display at mass, you can explain exactly why they have wealth inequality, exactly why they don't make it in at the same rate as other people, exactly why they don't do well academically. But these same black people, they don't want to talk about how they overrepresented in the NBA. They make up 78% of the NBA, but they only represent 13% of the population. And they're going to pretend that systematic racism is a reason why they're not making it in other fields. Why they don't get at college at a disproportional rate. Why they're underrepresented in college, medical school. Why there's not enough black doctors. Because your community is not producing these people who are able to become doctors. So instead of making them become doctors, instead of focusing on the people and create and better the education for the future generations, you want the bar to be lowered. This was part of Charlie Kirk's criticism of the black pilots. Without DEI, without affirmative action, pilots were overwhelmingly white. And if you saw a black man in there without DEI, oh, you would have just assumed he was qualified. But because with the backdrop of DEI and affirmative action, which is racist policies, which is racial discrimination, you know, hey, the standards are not the same for a black pilot versus a white pilot. And you're creating the reverse effect. You're creating racism. DEI creates racism. Affirmative action creates racism. That's the reality a lot of these black folks don't want to talk about. But instead they want to criticize Jonathan Isaac because he wants to speak at his events. Make it make sense. This is the part of the shallow, like, understanding of people. Here's Jonathan Isaac's response to this. I think it's warranted to be skeptical of my intentions given Charlie's recent rants. I disagree with Charlie on a lot of what he says about the black community, especially how he says it. And that's why I'm still going to speak at the event. Exactly. Like, end of the day, you're being given a platform to actually influence the people that agree with Charlie. Like, think about it, black folks. If you think Charlie said was misguided, racist even, wouldn't you want someone at the events to speak to these people to show them the other side of the argument, if you have one? But what you guys do is you characterize, you misconstrued, you imagine what someone meant by words. It's funny how many people in the comment section that I did a video with about Candace Owens talking with Destiny. And I think a lot of his supporters came into my comment section. And it's so funny how much people read into words that people say. I'll pray for you is a condescending negative tone used to judge somebody. That was what a commenter was speaking to me back and forth. And I asked him, I engaged in this series of comments and I was merely asking him, how do you know that for sure? Oh, it's the way she phrases the words, it's the way she set up the words. So I go, oh, so you have a bias against Christians. Oh, you have a bias against Candace Owens and you just assume everything she says is condescending and negative and you project that onto her. Imagination. Then he did the same thing to me. Oh, you're being passive aggressive. How you know that? I'm literally typing with a straight face like, I don't think this is the case. And I'm being passive aggressive, asking direct questions. Oh, you didn't hear the dog whistles. I guess you're a racist then because I didn't hear it. I'm tired of these games, man. I really am. And you're going to condemn a brother because he wants to speak out. Because Christ is still to be preached regardless of the audience and especially coming from a black man in that circle, my goal is to unite the kingdom, right? And people criticize him for that because for some reason, and this is a critique specifically for black folks, for some reason, they don't like unity. Black people like racial exclusion. I think secretly, a lot of these fake pro-blacks, these black liberals, they secretly want our segregation to come back. And I think that's why the Democratic Party is pushing segregated services. Because they treat, like even the policies, when they vote for policies, they go, oh, what you going to do specifically for black people? That's the wrong way of thinking. That's a very self-centered way of thinking. Because if every racial group in America thought the same way, black people will lose. They only make up 13% of the population. And in my argument is their own fault too. Black women abort their kids more in New York than actually are born alive in New York. The most liberal of liberals. Black women are more likely to abort their child than actually give birth to their child. Holding down the population numbers. 400,000 on average, 400,000 black babies die a year by the hands of their own mother, by the decisions of their own mother. Keeping the population of the black community small. And they have the audacity to play race-first politics. Imagine that. If you're going to play race-based politics, you want to grow your numbers as much as possible. But that's not what they're doing. Black people do counterproductive things. All because for their feelings. Like my father once said, nothing ever gets done with your feelings. And this is feelings over here. You criticizing a man because he wants to speak at an event. Maybe I'll be the one to shed light to Charlie Kirk when it comes to black engagement. And this is and Jonathan R. Isaac's been speaking out against this, that he believes the conservatives do not know how to talk to black folks, how to engage with black people. But me, I seen the buffoonery. I seen the mess up front. I grew up in a single parent household. I'm from Little Haiti. I see the mess up front, and I know, oh, these people take advantage of your sympathy. I'm on the opposite opinion. I don't think you need to. I think we've been speaking nice to black folks for a long time already, and a lot of people are just taking advantage of it. When you come up cordial, nice, you're just trying to speak your ideas, they call you a coon in the comment section. That's why I lost patience with black folks now. I'm just like, look, here's the facts, here's the evidence, here's the narrative, go. I'm waiting for your counter. Oh, Kenny, you're ignorant on these topics. Oh my God, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for someone like you. Please tell me how I'm ignorant on the topics. Never reply to me. Black people are looking for confirmation bias. They're not looking for the truth. They're just looking for something to blame. I honestly believe that. And this is why racial politics is dying. And it needs to die, honestly. Because we cannot stand united as a country if we still believe race first politics. I'll finish off this tweet and then I'll end up the video. We'll see. But Twitter fingers sure won't. That task is going to take black Christians being transparent and being bold in predominantly white spaces, vice versa, because our ish thinks too. Exactly. I just showed you the murder rates. What I won't do is not try in fear of your opinions. The kingdom means too much. Black youth means too much. Yes, the future means too much. The future of your country, the future of your community means too much to be tolerating your own people killing each other. How is the black people only 13% of the population, but they make up 36% of victims of violent crime? Make it make sense. It seems like black people don't want any accountability. Black people don't want to look in the mirror. I don't care where you're from. If you're an American citizen and you're black, you have a voice to speak. You have to speak on these matters because we tired now. Black culture, there's only black culture. Talking about African Americans. Oh, what about the Haitians, Jamaicans, Bahamians, Nigerians? What about all the other folk, all the other black people? Democrats and black Americans like to broad everyone in the same brush, but the minute someone criticizes, you want to ask them, oh, where your family from again? Haiti? Oh, you're not a real black? You're not a real black man? Oh, but I'm born in the States. I grew up around y'all. I know y'all like the back of my hand. I thought being black is not about how you were born, it was how you were socialized. The black community played the divide and conquer games too. And this is what I'm talking about. These people are not looking for solutions. They're just looking for something to blame. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree with me? Do you agree that black people a lot of black people, especially black liberals, this is coming from the black liberals, but I'm essentially saying black people because 77% of black people vote Democrat. So they see the same view as Democrats. 90% of black women vote Democrat. So this is why I'm saying black people. I'm making a generalization because this is generally true. Do you believe they're just looking for something to blame, or do you believe that black people are actually looking for a solution? Black, non-black, if you're an American, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching to the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.